name's Johann. I've been with Sienci Labs for a couple of years now. You guys have probably seen me on various videos. I'm a product designer here, and for the ATC project, I'm basically the design lead.
Hi, my name is Kevin. I am the lead software developer here at Sienci Labs, and I'm here to talk to you today about the software side of the ATC project, which I'm very excited for.
Hi, I'm John. I'm a mechanical engineer here at Sienci Labs, and I was responsible for designing the dust chute as well as the tool rack for the ATC project.
The term ATC a lot of times just describes the hardware, but if you only have a good, relatively good piece of ATC hardware and you don't have software and not everything is thought through end to end, it actually is a horrible experience. You know, your ATC is not just, oh, here's a spindle that can change tools. It's from the button you press to the plumbing that goes to the controller to what actually goes onto the hardware. These are all things that we can control, and these are all things that we optimized.
A lot of exist on the market which are really heavily industrial, but that requires a lot of experience and know-how how to operate this safely and well. And then on the flip side, there's a lot of systems on the market which are sort of more lower cost proposition or sort of more for beginner users. But the problem with these systems is the reliability aspect where it's sort of more you're tinkering with the tool rather than having the tool get out of your way and be able to interact with the projects you're inevitably trying to make with this system.
One of the hardest challenges when approaching an AT system as complex as this from the software side of things is how we're going to make it as easy for you as a customer. You've plugged it in, you've connected. Configuration is as simple as pressing a button in config, and that's going to configure your EEPROM, and then setting up some positions in a configuration tool, and everything goes from there. At that point, you're set.
For us, we have optimized the hardware so that it's very logical. So there's one connection at the back for compressed air that goes straight to your compressor. There's one connection for spindle power that goes straight to your VFD, and it is the same VFD that we sell with any of our 2.2 kilowatt spindles. The other thing that we did was we consolidated the entire pneumatics setup. So setups is as easy as it can be so that it's one less component to worry about and connect. We have a lot of very intelligent sensors in there. We have temperature sensors to make sure that, for example, if your fan ever fails, the spindle never overheats too dramatically. We have a sensor in the front to detect whether a tool is actually in the rack right now, so that you don't kind of put a tool into a place where there is already a tool and cause a crash. We optimize for some of the most commonly available compressors out there. So if you have a 1.5 horsepower compressor with a 6-gallon tank, that's more than enough. We tested it even lower. Take air from the compressor, hook it up to the spindle. You plug the spindle into the SLB using one cable, and then you also have the last cable that goes into your VFD, and that's kind of the hardware setup done most of the way. You got to go into gSender, run through a very guided configuration wizard, a couple buttons later, and then you're done. So you can start using your ATC.
In terms of the number of changes we've had to make in gSender to support this, it's an ongoing process, but it's been massive. So not only are we supporting new features in the firmware itself, we've actually implemented a large number of tools on the front end as well. So let alone all the functionality you need and expect from an ATC system, such as a tool table, being able to probe all tools or individual tools, load and unload, all that, again, the UI side. But interacting with the SD card itself, which hasn't been touched on, because all these files, the ATC process are all macro files, and being able to upload those to the SD card inside gSender, as simple as dragging the files over into gSender, is really simplified the process.
The Sienci ATC kit comes obviously with the spindle. So it's a 2.2 kilowatt spindle, and what's so special about it is that it reaches 2.2 kilowatts at 18,000 RPM and sustains that all the way to 24,000. You also get either a rack with 6 positions or 2 parallel racks that gives you 12 kind of like tool positions. So that gets placed at the back of the machine. You'll also get a dust shoe that's injection molded. Here's an earlier prototype because it's still being injection molded right now. This part is common to all of our other dust shoes because we designed it to fit all of our spindle, and you get a piece that fits specifically with the ATC. Obviously, you get all the cables and wiring that is required to connect to your compressor, to your VFD, as well as to your super longboard controller.
One of the things I'd like to highlight specifically is the tool table, which lets you view tools, rename tools if you want an easier to know identifier, probe them, change your offsets, all again in an easy one-click window. We've done a lot of work on the visualizer, so the second you load a file, it's incredibly obvious where the toolpaths are because the colors actually change now in the visualizer for specific toolpaths. So it's very easy to visually see where your tools are going to change and know the process before you even press start.
The positioning of the tool rack at the rear of the AltMill along the X is primarily so that we can utilize that space that we're already inevitably losing with the gantry of the machine. Having that space there is sort of free in a way so that we can put materials and the structure of the tool rack in a place that you wouldn't be able to cut anyway. And we really built in a feature that I think people will like a lot with the tool rack, which is that you can remove the tool rack when you need to do pass-through, and that will be detected in software and it will go automatically into a mode which is off-rack tools. Because of the new 4x8's extended Y travel, we can really leverage the full extent of that and not really lose any space whatsoever for if you wanted to do a full 4x8 sheet of cutting.
To put it simply, on the 2x4 and the 4x4 machine, you will lose between 4.5 to 5 inches in cuttable area. But because the machine already has 1 inch of over travel compared to the stated cutting area, what that really means is that you'll lose between 3.5 to 4 inches, depending on the machine that you have.
I think we've come to a good balance of letting people who are new to ATC have a relatively straightforward experience where you can use it as a fancy wrench if you want, and let the more advanced power users configure the system in ways that let them run through their more complex and industrial workflows in a way that's going to save them time and save them effort. You don't have to worry about resetting your zeros, you don't have to worry about changing bits. It's just all automated, and even on the few small projects I've run with the ATC system, the time saved is probably incalculable. I think Sienci Labs is uniquely positioned in that we both provide and support all aspects of the system, from the spindle hardware itself, to the firmware and board, to the software. Because of that, we're able to develop a system that's easy to use, intuitive, and relatively robust.
I would say it's the most complete and the most well-rounded product and the most beautiful product that we have ever released here at Sienci Labs. And I think when you use this product, you will feel our efforts and you will feel the passion, you'll feel the amount of dedication that went into making the system as perfect as it can be.